No, it shouldn't.
No way.
Do you think it should?
Not telling you right at this minute. Can I ask you a couple of questions?
Wait, so
Yeah.
legalised, so that means like should be
Am
allowed?
I being filmed?
Yeah. Camera there.
Is this going to be put stage?
It says
It might be, yeah, it depends on the
Right, well, I'll
conversation.
follow you on YouTube.
I'm reasonably small on YouTube. I'm bigger on Instagram.
Right, okay.
We'll follow in, yeah.
So I'll give you a card in a minute or two. You can leave anytime you want, by the way. I normally ask people 3 or 4 questions to see their answers. So do you want to do that?
Yeah.
So tell me what you think of animals, first of all.
What do you mean?
Like a wee thing,
Like them, hate them?
I love animals. I love animals. I've got a dog and
a lot of lizards.
and I used to have a snake.
Okay, second question is, what do you think of people who abuse animals or animal abuse in general?
I think they're disgusting people.
I think it's genuinely disgusting. Like, no dog or animal should have to go through anything like that.
And
Because it's just like if it was a human, would you like to be
Yeah.
abused?
like
Definitely not.
exactly.
Okay.
So abusing animals is, from my point of view, would be the same as abusing a human. Like animals and humans are like.
Okay, that's interesting. I'm not telling you my point of view yet. I'll tell you after the next question, okay? It's funny that most people say the same things. They should be shot, should be sent to prison.
Yeah.
Somebody told me one day they should be castrated.
I don't know what that means, but I agree.
Well, their balls cut off, basically. So, how would you describe abuse?
Like even like animal testing, like makeup, and like even just any sort of, I would say, especially the way people wear Canada Goose, that's animal abuse because they're skinning animals and taking their fur and putting it in a coat for people to wear.
Okay.
And like as well, people hitting them and all that, I would class that as abuse.
And you?
I'd say that abuse would be leaving your animal not to be fed for days because you're too lazy to do it, or throwing stuff at it, shouting at it. Like, obviously, I get people why they would shout at
And I agree with you.
I get-
So I'll give you my possession now.
Right.
I'm interrupting you. Finish. Do you want to finish what you're saying?
Yeah, so obviously shouting at your animal, I'd understand if it done something wrong, but if you're just shouting at it for the sake of it,
I agree
it's
with
not
you.
right.
Those are great answers, by the way, because you can physically abuse somebody, but you can also mentally abuse them by, like small dogs or cats, for example, by intimidating them and shouting at them and stuff. I hate that, and I hate people chasing pigeons and all sorts. You might be scared of pigeons like you just did. That's fine, but you wouldn't do them any harm. But I stand here all the time. I'm in the street all the time, and the number of people chasing pigeons and trying to stamp on them is unbelievable. So the last question, and I am genuinely not trying to catch you out. I am trying to make people who genuinely love animals make a connection to the animals that we take into slaughterhouses, that we gas and electrocute.
You're going to talk about vegan and vegetarian, aren't you?
Well, vegan, because vegetarian's nothing. I was a vegetarian for a long time, by the way, and I'm not trying to catch you out. We gas them, we electrocute them, we shoot them in the head, we cut their throats, when you can just eat or wear something else instead. And it's the same with cosmetics, like you said earlier. I love your answers, by the way, so far. I have to tell you that you're one of the best answers that I've ever heard people say on the street. But if you think of cosmetics, right, and you don't want to support, I take it you shop in Lush or Body Shop or somewhere like that, or you buy cosmetics that are probably not tested on animals because you don't want to support that.
See, in all fairness though, I do try and find ones that aren't animal tested.
But
Yeah,
most of
of
them
course.
have been animal tested, so it's quite hard sometimes.
Superdrug's great, by the way.
Yeah.
All Superdrug's own stuff is not tested on animals. But so my point would be, if you genuinely care about animals, why on earth would you pay people to do all those horrible things to them, which you would agree that stabbing somebody in the throat is abusive, right? So why would you pay for that? What would be the reason? And be honest, like, you know, be completely honest.
So to be honest with
How do you justify it?
like I'm not a vegan or nothing
Yeah.
or anything like that, but my auntie is and some of my family is as well, and I do support them. I support them because obviously I don't think it's right killing animals,
course.
because they're just out in the farms, you know, trying to live their wee life, you know. I don't think it's right, but say to be honest with you, I just don't like the food, the vegan food.
That your auntie makes?
Yeah, I just
Right, so,
genuinely
but that's her food. Like, you've tried a few things.
And so as well, like, I don't know how to put this in words, but it's our source of food. Do you know what I mean? Like, yes, there's other foods you can eat,
Yeah.
but at the same time, it's based on a lot of people's meals, and it's like protein and all that.
Yeah, I get it. So the perception is that it's hard. Look, hold on a minute. Wait. The perception is that it's hard to find food, but see, once you're vegan for 2 or 3 weeks, like, supermarkets are full of vegan food. McDonald's have a McPlant, KFC have chicken nuggets. Place a rocket. You know, so once you get to know after a few weeks, I just walk into the supermarket now and go to the vegan section and buy this, that and the other and eat a load of plants and stuff. And okay, you've tried some vegan food you don't like, but you've also tried a lot of meat products that you don't like in your life
I
as
don't
well.
think they taste the same either. Like the ones that I've had, I don't think they taste the same.
Right, okay, got it. Let me ask you a question on that. So say, right, what's more important to you? Say vegan food tastes 10 or 15% different, right? What's more important, that 10 or 15% taste difference, or an animal being taken into a slaughterhouse, shot in the head, hung upside down, and a knife stuck in their throat? What's more important?
The animals, I'd say.
Of course.
So to be honest with you, the only meat that I do eat would be chicken.
Yeah.
That's actually fair enough.
I don't eat like red meat or anything. Like I wouldn't eat like.
Well, I was the same when I'm going to guess you're around 19, 20, maybe, I'm not sure. No, not even.
No.
So the last thing I was eating was chicken. I'm 56 now. I gave up everything when I was eating animal products when I was 19. So I haven't eaten them in nearly 4 years.
Would you ever go back to it?
Never, ever. Even if vegan food was really crap and tasted of shit, I wouldn't, because I'm an animal rights activist, by the way. That's why I didn't tell you at the start. So I go into farms, I go into slaughterhouses, I do all sorts of stuff, and I've been in them and seen how the animals suffer, and I don't want to pay for that. I genuinely don't.
See, whenever you put it in that point of view, and you
It makes you
actually
see things in a different perspective.
you think about it, it does make you see things in different perspective, because to be honest with you, see, thinking about, oh, I'm eating an animal that has been suffering through that sort of stuff.
I know
it's not right. Like, I think it's 100%
Like
not.
you said, it's like abusing a human right at the
Yeah.
start. It's just you've been taught, and genuinely I'm not trying to catch people out and do clickbait and all that shit. I can't be bothered with it. I want good-hearted people to realise that if you genuinely love animals, well then don't pay. Would you ever stab a cow in the throat? Ever?
I couldn't live with it.
Of course you can. You
Just
wouldn't
like
sleep for weeks after doing it. So why pay somebody else? You know, when you go in and buy the product, you're supply and demand, so you're literally paying other people to do stuff that you would never do yourself. Can I tell you one thing we do to animals in this country that people don't know? Because I think from birth we're taught to care about dogs and cats and dolphins and whales.
Yeah.
But these other animals, the ones we typically consume and wear, just like something happens to them, but you're taught not to think about it because you have to. Well, I'm living proof you don't have to. So one thing we do, I'm from Ballymena, I live near Galgorm Resort and Spa. Have you heard of it?
Yeah, I've seen that.
Right. So 500 yards up the road is a big factory. You maybe seen it, like literally a stone's throw away. It's called Cranswick Country Foods. It's a pig slaughterhouse.
I have, actually.
Yeah. So there's trucks going in and out of there 24/7, all day and all night, filled with pigs. Do you know what we do to the pigs when they go in there, how they're disposed of?
No idea.
And
By the pussy!
man, some of these people in this town, our heads are like gas chambers.
So you can't see.
Gas chambers, yeah. Suffocate it till they pass out, and then they're hung upside down, and then their throats are cut.
My grandpa used to have a farm.
Yeah.
He used to have a farm, but he didn't like obviously make food or nothing. He would have just milked the cows.
Yeah.
That would have been it. But
I get I was going to tell you the pigs that are gassed, 3,500 a day they're doing in there, and the screams of those animals. I've been inside and watched it. It's fucking horrendous. And I guarantee if I took you there and you seen that, you'd never eat bacon again. Right. Well, I stood and cried the last day I was there for 20 minutes. I was inconsolable. It's so bad. It's so bad. And they tell us that's the most humane method. And I know you're rushing off. I'll not keep you much longer. The dairy industry seems benign, like we just milk cows, right? But it's actually really cruel. And there'll be things happening in the dairy industry that
I don't drink milk.
I didn't know for years that they try and hide from me. So the females, the only time they produce milk is when they're pregnant, right? Or have given birth. So the farmers artificially impregnate them.
Yeah.
So are they constantly reproducing?
Yes,
Yeah.
constantly, once a year.
So the only time that they actually give milk is whenever they're pregnant.
Yeah.
So they're just impregnating them.
I drink almond milk as well.
Good for you. You should always do
I
that.
just don't drink milk.
So when they're born, the calves are born after 9 months. Half of them are girls and half of them are boys, but only the boys produce milk, or only the girls produce milk,
Yeah.
obviously. All the baby boys in the dairy industry are a waste product.
So they basically just get chopped.
Some of them get shot on the day they're born. I've seen farmers hit them over the head with a spade or a shovel on the day they're born. Really cruel. Some of them are sent to market at 10 to 14 days old, and then they're sold into the veal industry, and they stand in they go across to Belgium or Holland on trucks. They stand in a pen with a chain around their neck for 14 to 16 weeks, and then they're pulled out of that pen, and their throats are cut at 16 weeks old.
And another thing about
absolutely
And the girls, I was going to tell you, are pregnancy, have your child taken away. Pregnancy, have your child taken away 5 or 6 times in their life. When they get to 6 years old, their bodies are totally wrecked. And guess where they go? Off the slaughterhouse.
and as well with the horse racing, I think that is the most cruel thing ever. Like the girl
dog racing and dog fighting.
the girl that does
It's all bad.
the girl that does like my beauty and all, she was talking about it the other day because she like works as a security guard and all, and she was talking about how she was at the horse racing, and one of the horses went to jump and it broke its leg, and they pulled out this big screen and went to shoot it, and she started screaming. Like she literally demonstrated what she done. She put her arms on it and started screaming no.
It's terrible. Some of my friends in Animal Rising now, they went to Aintree a couple of years back. I'm sure you've seen it on TV, and ran onto the track and stuff and tried to stop it. So I'm against it all. I think animals should be left alone. They just want to live their lives the same as you and me. They have feelings, they feel pain, they suffer, all that stuff. So, yeah, I know people think vegans are weirdos. I am certainly not a weirdo. I just care about animals. I'm not a weirdo. I'm genuinely not. The only weird thing about me is I'm vegan, and people think, oh, you're an extremist and all that. I'm not. What's extreme about not wanting to hurt animals or pay people to hurt animals? You know, so you guys are in your thinking, or like 3/4 of the way there. It's just extending that compassion you already have for some animals to. Like, for me, my favourite animals are cows. They're such gentle
I
animals.
love baby cows. They're so cute.
Jesus. And you go to Ballymena Market. I'm giving you a card each, by the way, I'm going to let you go. See if you go to Ballymena Livestock Market on a Friday morning, they have a dropped calf market, which is the baby boys come in, dozens and dozens and dozens of them. That's what they sell on Friday mornings. They're about this high, like wee baby dogs. Jesus. And those wee animals, some of them are going straight across the road into the slaughterhouse. That's
Whenever I
terrible.
go to Portstewart during the summer, and whenever we go to like Carrick-a-Reid and all of it, like, have you ever been to Carrick-a-Reid? Yeah, do you know the way like there's all the wee sheep and all?
Yeah.
I speak to them.
And me too. I drive a delivery van, and I stop all the time to talk to the animals. I get into the fields with them and stuff. So yeah, like, you guys care about animals. Just give it a wee bit of thought. I'm not expecting you to change, like, I'm going to begin on the spot, but I'm going to give you a card each to do some. So that is my Instagram and YouTube here. And I will definitely be using this if you don't mind, because you guys were great. See the speech at the bottom there? The greatest speech you'll ever hear. That is not me, it's another guy.
That's okay.
It's a guy called Gary. I put his name there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds boring, a speech on YouTube. It is literally the best thing you'll ever see in your life. And if I've given you something to think about, which hopefully I have, that guy for half an hour sometime will drop bombs in your head and you'll go, holy shit.
Yeah.
I appreciate you. What's your name?
Allie Rose.
Can you?
Good to speak to you. My name's on there.
That's okay.
Girls, thank you for stopping. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Bye-bye.